Happy New Year! It is finally 2020, and today's video is all about 2020 resolutions and how to make your goals attainable so that you can fulfill them throughout the new year. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hit the subscribe button below, and you can check me out on Instagram at Linguini Bikini for all of my recipes and tips on healthy nutrition and making plant-based meals. First off, I would like to say how grateful I am for my year of 2019. It was a big year for me. I left my corporate job, I moved to a different country, and I pursued things that make me happy while also supporting somebody that I love very much. So this was very exciting, but also very nerve-wracking. And this would all not be possible without the support from my family. So I'm very thankful that I had their support and that I was in a place financially to be able to do this and support myself on this journey. So yes, very grateful for 2019, but also very excited for 2020 and what the new year will bring. Okay, my hair is a mess, as always. Okay, so on to my resolutions for 2020. My first resolution of 2020 is to travel more. I absolutely love traveling, and over the last few years, I've spent a lot of time traveling to different places. I just find that I grow more and more each time I travel, and there's no better way to really live your life than to explore a new country or a new place for the first time and just immerse yourself in a new culture or a new language. I love food, so of course being able to taste and try different foods, there's just nothing better for me anyways. So I definitely want to travel more. I didn't get to travel too much last year because of the big move that I mentioned before. So I'm definitely looking forward to traveling more this year. And I already have a few trips either in the works or booked, so I'm very excited for that. My big trip this year is traveling to Portugal, which is somewhere that I have never been before and I've heard so many good things about. If you have been there and you have any tips or things that you recommend seeing, please leave them in the comments below. I've heard that there's lots to see. It's a beautiful country and it's also very affordable. Food, and if you like wine or beer, is very affordable there. So it's a great place to travel if you are a budget traveler or if you just want to see your money go far. So my goal in terms of traveling is to travel to 3 new places this year. So Portugal will be one of them. And like I said, I already have a couple of things in the works. So I think that 3 is an attainable number for me because 2 places that I'm already looking into, I have not been before. So that just leaves 1 for the latter half of the year, hopefully. Okay, my second resolution is to be less wasteful. I can list several things that I do that are super wasteful, and a lot of them is just because that's my habit. Okay, so the first thing is using Ziploc bags. I use these all the time, and it's mainly just because they're super easy. If you have snacks or leftover foods or you're packing your lunch quickly in the morning, it's super handy to just grab a Ziploc bag from the drawer and put your snacks in them, throw it in your lunch, and you're good to go. This is especially true in my house because our Tupperware drawer is a nightmare. When I open up that drawer, I just get anxiety looking at it because it is all mismatched. It would literally take me 10 minutes to probably try and find one matching set. But going forward this year, instead of spending my energy on purchasing Ziploc bags, if I just take half an hour to organize our Tupperware drawer, then that makes my life easier and I can just start reusing Tupperware instead of constantly using these plastic bags. There's also other options. There are reusable bags out there that you can purchase. I will link one of the local companies that I know about down below, and I'm sure that there's tons of other reusable options out there. Also, if you do use Ziploc bags, another thing is that you can always reuse those as well. You can always just rinse them out and reuse them. I do that from time to time, but I know for a lot of us it's very easy to just throw them out when you're done using them. A lot of the times we just don't even think about it, but that's just something that we're used to doing. The second thing that I am a culprit of using excessively is plastic water bottles. So I have already started eliminating this bad habit thanks to my sister. who for Christmas got us all our own personalized reusable water bottles. So this is fantastic because instead of going and using a plastic water bottle, we can just reuse. I mean, this one is made of plastic, but it's reusable, so it's not like one of those flimsy one-time use water bottles. I have her Etsy shop linked down below if you want to check her out. These sell for $12, and this one is pretty plain, but she does a whole bunch of different customized water bottles, and if you check out her Instagram page, you can see all the different cool things that she can do with these. So this is a fantastic thing to use and definitely worthwhile to invest in. Okay, then the third thing that I am a culprit of using way too often is paper towels. This is mostly because I hate cloths. I just absolutely cannot stand cloths. I think it's just the smell. They smell awful to me. They always just seem to have this gross, I don't know, stench. I hate using cloths, so I always default to using paper towels. But again, it is very wasteful, so I personally have not figured out how exactly I am going to sustain this habit going forward. But for now, I will just try to be a bit more conscious about my paper towel usage and try to reduce it as much as possible. And when I was living in the US, I did start to purchase paper towels that were made from 100% recyclable fibers. So that's a step in the right direction as well. If you guys have any tips or products that you use instead of those stinky, smelly cloths, then I am all ears, so please let me know in the comments below. My third resolution for 2020 is to be active every day. Now, I know that this sounds probably a bit generic, and especially at the start of the year, everyone's like, yeah, we should all work out. I'm not suggesting to go to the gym every single day or get an expensive gym membership. I just think that humans were made to move, and we have become so sedentary just because of like the lifestyle these days, I guess. And I'm obviously an offender of this as well. I watch lots of TV and I like to, sit in bed, read, or go on my laptop. And especially with all of the working at home opportunities and stuff like that these days, I just want to incorporate more activeness into my everyday lifestyle. So whether that be going on a long walk or doing a quick workout or just something active every day, I think that that'll overall help improve my mood, and it's just a good thing to do for your body. It's a nice way to give back. So before making this video, my sister and I did a very quick butt and ab workout at home using a video on YouTube. I can link that down below, and we felt great afterwards. Okay, my fourth resolution is to eat more plant-based meals. So I have been vegetarian for years now, I think well over 10 years, since I was 13 or 14. I've been totally vegetarian, and I recently started cutting out a lot of dairy from my meals, and I've just found that I feel a lot better. I'm less bloated, I have less stomach issues. But going forward, I would like to try and eat more plant-based or vegan meals. The goal that I've made for myself is to eat vegan 1 day a week. There's just so many benefits with this type of lifestyle. We recently watched this movie called Game Changers on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. It was super interesting. I honestly didn't even know what it was about when we watched it, but it just seemed interesting. And it was very cool to see all of the science behind a plant-based diet. I shouldn't even say science, not even the science, but just the practice of people using plant-based diet and the results it's had on their performance. This was mostly athletes that this documentary was about, but it was really interesting, and it really opened my eyes and my boyfriend's eyes to what a plant-based lifestyle could provide. So I would definitely like to incorporate more vegan meals going forward. And like I said, hopefully 1 day a week I can commit to eating fully vegan, and the rest of the time just try to incorporate it as much as possible. My fifth and final resolution for 2020 is to maintain multiple streams of income. This is something that I have been reading and watching videos a lot on lately, and I read that most successful people have at least 7 streams of income. This might seem crazy to people who just work, say, a 9-to-5 job, just one job every day, especially if you're pouring your heart and soul and all of your energy into that one job. You might be thinking, how the heck could somebody have 7 streams of income? but it makes a lot of sense. And I've kind of been dabbling in this the last few months by trying out a lot of different online opportunities. And it's definitely something that I want to continue doing more into 2020. Just dabbling in a lot of different areas. I haven't really invested too much of my finances. That's something that I would like to get into more in 2020 as well. I also am aiming to purchase a house this year, and so real estate is definitely a good way to invest your money and can be another source of income. Speaking of online opportunities, there are many that I've tried out this past year, which I can link them down below, or I might do a separate video on that. But the one that I have been doing a lot of, which you'll see in my previous videos, is online teaching with GoGoKid. So if you are interested in teaching online, specifically with GoGoKid, then I can help you through that process. I've listed my referral code below, so I can just give you some information on what it's like teaching online, what the pay is like, how to get hired, what the hiring process is all about, and help you all through that if you would like to have me as your referring teacher. Or if you're just interested, feel free to comment below or send me a message, and I would be happy to give you some more information. So yeah, maintaining multiple streams of income is definitely something that I think is important, and especially in this day and age, it is something that a lot of people are doing and a lot of successful people are doing successfully. So those are my resolutions or goals for 2020. You probably will notice that none of them are really groundbreaking. A lot of these are just habits that I've either started to implement or have been thinking about implementing for a while, and I just haven't put the time and effort into sitting down and figuring out how exactly I'm going to do that. So that's really what I wanted to focus on for 2020, is making these changes to my lifestyle that can be sustainable. I wanted to end this video with a few tips on how to achieve or sustain your resolutions and goals in 2020, because I know that this is something that a lot of people struggle with. The main thing is making these resolutions or goals attainable. That doesn't mean that you lower your standard or you lower your, like, if you have a dream, absolutely go for it. I'm not saying that you shouldn't shoot for the stars, but what I'm saying is you should make your goal something that is measurable. You need to have some sort of actionable item so you can hold yourself accountable. So you'll notice if you look back on all of the goals that I gave, I also explained how I plan to achieve those, and a lot of them had numbers associated with them. So when I say I want to travel more, I said travel to at least 3 new places this year, and I already am planning on going to 2 new places. So I just upped it to 3 because I think that that is something that is attainable by the end of this year. With the eating more plant-based, I'm not saying I'm going to switch to a full vegan diet. I'm saying at least 1 day a week I would like to eat vegan. So making a goal that has a measurable outcome is really, really important, because again, you can hold yourself accountable. You'll also feel a lot better once you reach that goal, because then you can look back and you have evidence, you have proof that you actually did what you set out to do, instead of just saying something like, I want to be more thankful or grateful. Okay, that's great. But at the end of the year, when you look back, how are you going to say that you achieved that goal? You could instead say, every day I am going to write down 1 thing that I am thankful for. And then at the end of the year, look, you've got 365 things that you've been thankful for. So that's one tip that I think is really, really important, is just making sure that you have a measurable or actionable thing that you can hold yourself accountable to for the rest of this year. So those were my 2020 resolutions or goals. If you have any thoughts on these, please let me know in the comments below. And I would also love to hear your resolutions or goals for 2020. Thanks for checking out this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button below.